sign that what the government says and what they then do. So what's going to happen tomorrow? And it adds further uncertainty. So overall, I'm not a fan.
So John, we were just talking before about the government trying to connect further rate cuts by the RBA to a budget surplus, and my thoughts would be you can't really connect those two, even though they're trying to say that gives them scope. I mean, the RBA is meant to be independent. What do you see happening with interest rates?
Well, I think that the Reserve Bank also wants to see disciplined spending, because let's face it, with the fiscal stimulus when GFC hit, the government really did go on a big spending binge. Some of it hit the mark, a lot of it didn't, and that does worry the Reserve Bank. So the Reserve Bank, if the Reserve Bank's comfortable in knowing that the government is being prudent, careful, well-placed investment, they will be more comfortable. But they don't want to go and put the foot on the accelerator and let the economy run off if they then see that the government could run off and just overspend and run up a big debt. So, whilst they are independent, they are also... Oh, absolutely, they pay attention.
What about when it comes to the banks, John? Because, we have seen only a portion of the RBA's 50 basis point rate cut that we saw coming back through to the market.
Well, Oriel, that's why they call it the GFC.
Yeah. Over though?
It's over, I wish. People forget this July we will be 5 years into GFC, 5 years. And really, today it's a part of life. It's part of life. And it's not going to change anytime soon. So we really have got to make sure that this is the way it's going to be for some time to come.
Where's the end of the GFC though? I mean, because we're starting to see improvements in a lot of these economies, and yes, we still have question marks over exactly how far the US is going to recover. And of course, we've got the situation over in the Eurozone, which is likely to get worse before it gets better. But at what point do you say, okay, we are now on recovery path?
Well, I think as far as Australia is concerned, we're very fortunate being in the Asia region, and we're doing well here. I think the move towards saying, is it over, we've got to see the US economy really kick along, more so than the Eurozone. The Eurozone is important, but from Australia's perspective, it has less significance, way less significance, and certainly the Asia region is the most important, but certainly the US economy is still the biggest economy. It needs to kickstart. Will it happen the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months? Don't know, but it's showing signs of, at least it's not deteriorating, it is getting a bit better. So we need the US to really kick along.
John, I just called it, I might be getting cynical in my old age, but another Harvey Norman budget. 2008, I was talking about $20 billion coming out, which was basically spent in retail. We're sort of doing that again now. Where does the $820 go? It doesn't go to pay off people's mortgages. They want them to spend it. Is this just going to be a blip, or is it going to make a difference?
Well, I'm cynical when it comes to politicians generally, and particularly this government. It'll go into bank accounts and a lot of people won't even know it hit their bank accounts. It's not targeted, and I think that's unfortunate, because it's a lot of money. And it's not like improving educational facilities. It's just going into, and hey, your regular mum and dad will grab it with both hands. But, I think the unfortunate thing with this government since they've been in is the spending hasn't been well placed. It hasn't been targeted. Is there long-term benefits to the community with expending billions of dollars? And we're littered with just hit, miss. And unfortunately, I look on this as just, not well placed expenditure, of which we're all going to pay for by way of our taxes.
Yeah, well, look, sorry, I had to ask as well, because Oriel just mentioned it. I mean, clearly, what you did, years ago, saving people money on their mortgages. Now we're seeing again, now the bank's not passing on the interest rate cuts. I mean, where's the competition going to come from? Are we going to see more competition?
Hold that thought. We're going to give you a few minutes to think about the answer there and take a quick break. Both Chris and John are staying with us, so do stick around. We'll be back with more after the break.